Hello there, sociologists. Now today's video is all about feminism. Feminism has undoubtedly had a massive effect on the world in general, and on sociology in particular, but it's very hard to describe feminism as a whole, because there are so many different types of feminism, and they disagree about a lot of key issues. However, what we can say about feminism as a whole is that it is a conflict theory. All feminists see inequality in society between men and women, and therefore there is disagreement and struggle in society. In this video, we're going to look at 5 key types of feminism. And as we go through, what's crucial is that you understand what each type says about the cause of gender inequality, because that then determines what they believe to be the solution to gender inequality. Liberal feminists believe gender is a social construct, not something fixed at birth. So the cause of women's oppression in society comes from things like sexist stereotypes and socializing boys and girls into stereotypical gender roles. They argue that current gender patterns disadvantage both women and men. The solution, therefore, is to challenge the stereotypes and change the way we socialize children. They do this through exposing the sexism in society and campaigning for new policies like the Equal Pay Act and Sex Discrimination Act. Liberal feminists believe that things are slowly improving and that continuing to make gradual steps forward is the way to bring about complete equality. Radical feminists take a different approach. They believe society is patriarchal, which means when men inherently seek to dominate and control women, to use them for their own pleasure. This patriarchy is the cause of inequality, according to radical feminists. Because patriarchy means relationships with men are always oppressive, many radical feminists believe the solution is to completely change them or even get rid of those relationships altogether through things like separatism or political lesbianism. Radical feminists believe a huge, revolutionary change is needed to eradicate patriarchy, not the small, gradual changes that liberal feminists champion, but a massive change on a societal level. Marxist feminists also believe a huge, revolutionary change is needed to deal with the gender inequality in society, but they don't think it's one against patriarchy. They believe that the oppression of women is caused by capitalism, as having women as housewives maintains the current labour force and produces future workers who will accept capitalist rule. So it's capitalism that produces patriarchy for Marxist feminists. The solution, therefore, is a revolution that gets rid of capitalism and puts communism in its place. In a communist society, everyone will be equal, and both women and men will be free from the oppression that they suffer at the hands of capitalism. The next 2 types of feminism have been developed after the first 3, and they criticize liberal, radical, and Marxist feminists for assuming that all women have exactly the same experiences of oppression. Black feminism was developed to criticize other types of feminism because they focus mainly on the problems facing white, middle-class women. Black feminists argue that black women and other ethnic minorities face the double discrimination of race and gender and face many problems not touched upon by other types of feminism. Postmodernists argue that there's been a weakening of many of the things that people used to use to form their identity, like gender and class, and people now pick and mix their identities from a wide range of sources. This leads postmodern feminists to argue that there's a huge range of meaning behind what it is to be a woman in contemporary society, so that no one feminist theory can address all of the issues. So there you have a brief introduction to 5 key types of feminism. Hopefully you can see how each one is similar and yet different to the next one. This means you'll be able to use them to criticize each other in an essay. Now, most of you won't know this, but before I was a teacher, I used to work at a bank. Unfortunately, on the very first day, though, I got fired. A woman asked me to check her balance, so I pushed her over. All right, that's it. I'll see you next time.